2 people. Same salary, $120,000 a year. Same savings rate, 15%. Same discipline every single paycheck for 30 years. One retires at 52. The other works until 62 and still runs the numbers on Sunday nights wondering if it will be enough. The difference between them is not income. It is not willpower. It is a single decision made on their first day at a new job. A decision that takes about 45 seconds and costs one of them a decade of their life. That decision is the order in which they fill their accounts. Today, I want to show you exactly how that order works, why the default path quietly destroys 10 years of your freedom, and the 5-step sequence that changes the math entirely. This is not about saving more. Both people in this story save the exact same amount. This is about where that money goes first. If you are the kind of person who wants to understand how the system actually works, not just what to do, but why it works, Sarah's Money Map is the channel for that. Subscribe before we go any further. Now let's meet James and Maya. James is 30 years old. He just started a new job paying $120,000 a year. HR sends him a benefits enrollment form. The default contribution rate is 6%. He changes it to 15, drops the form in the portal, and feels good about himself. Responsible. Done. Every dollar of that 15% goes into a traditional 401k. All of it, pre-tax. He does not touch the Roth option sitting right there on the same form. He has never thought of an HSA as a retirement account. His emergency fund, about $15,000, sits in a checking account at his local bank earning roughly nothing. Maya is also 30. Same company, same salary, same form. She spends about 20 minutes on it. She contributes the same 15%, but she stacks it differently. That 20 minutes is the entire difference between retiring at 52 and working until 62. Here is the trap James walked into. His $18,000 a year goes entirely into a traditional 401k. That money grows tax-deferred for 30 years, which sounds great. But every dollar he pulls out in retirement gets taxed as ordinary income. If he has accumulated a large balance, which he will, required minimum distributions will force him to take money out starting at age 73 whether he needs it or not. Those forced withdrawals push his taxable income higher. That higher income makes more of his Social Security benefits taxable. Kitz's research calls this the tax torpedo. The bracket you think you are in and the bracket you are actually paying are two different numbers. A retiree sitting on a large traditional 401k balance can face effective marginal rates of 27 to 40%, even while technically in the 22% bracket. James's strategy is not wrong. It is just incomplete. And incompleteness in a compounding system is expensive. Now let's follow Maya's 20 minutes. Step 1. She contributes exactly enough to her traditional 401k to capture the full employer match. Her company matches dollar for dollar up to 6% of salary. 6% of $120,000 is $7,200 of her own money. Her employer adds another $7,200. That is $14,400 flowing into a retirement account in year 1 from a 6% contribution rate. Maya stops there. Not because the traditional 401k is bad, because the next accounts are better and the match is already captured. The match is free money that arrives every paycheck. Fund it first, no exceptions. Step 2. She opens a Roth IRA and maxes it. $7,000 for 2025. That money goes in after tax. It grows for 32 years completely outside the reach of the IRS. When Maya withdraws it at 52, every dollar, including 30 years of compounded growth, comes out with 0 federal tax. No bracket, no torpedo, no required minimum distributions. The Roth belongs entirely to her. Step 3. She enrolls in the high-deductible health plan at work and opens an HSA, a health savings account. She maxes her individual contribution, $4,300 for 2025. Confirmed by the IRS in Publication 969. She immediately invests it in a broad index fund inside the account. Most people treat an HSA like a spending account for co-pays. Maya treats it like a third retirement vehicle. The reason is that an HSA is the only account in the entire tax code that is tax-free going in, tax-free growing, and tax-free growing and tax-free coming out for qualified medical expenses. No other account delivers all three simultaneously. Fidelity estimates a single retirer will spend roughly $172,000 on healthcare in retirement. Maya's HSA will cover that entire bill without triggering $1 of taxable income. Step 4. The remainder, around $3,500 a year, goes into a taxable brokerage account. No contribution limits. No age restrictions on withdrawal. Liquid whenever she needs it. Long-term capital gains rates applied to growth held over a year, and those rates are lower than ordinary income rates. This account gives Maya the flexibility her locked-up retirement accounts cannot. Step 5. Her emergency fund moves from the checking account earning 0.39% to a high-yield savings account earning around 4%. That gap on $15,000 is roughly $500 a year. Same money, same FDIC protection, same access, $500 more simply for opening a different account. Now let me put this on a graph. Picture two lines starting at the same point. Age 30. $18,000 a year going in from both of them, same salary, same rate. By age 40, both lines are climbing. The gap is small. James feels fine about his balance. Maya's line is pulling slightly ahead, but it is not dramatic yet. By age 50, the picture changes. Maya's line has crossed a Fidelity retirement benchmark of 6 times her salary. She is on track for independence in her early 50s. James's line is behind that benchmark. His pre-tax balance looks similar, but the after-tax value tells a different story. By 52, Maya's line crosses her personal independence threshold. The tax-free accounts, the Roth, the HSA, the taxable brokerage, combined with the traditional 401k she will access later, give her enough. She is done. James's line does not cross that same after-tax threshold until age 61 or 62. Two lines, same starting point, the same amount of money going in every year, and then a gap of nearly a decade opening between them, created entirely by sequence. The gap runs on two engines. Engine 1 is the employer match. James captures the match too because he is contributing 15%, which is above the 6% threshold. But he never thought about the match as a separate prioritized step. He just contributes everything to one bucket. Maya structured her contributions to fund the match first, then layer the tax-free accounts on top. The match alone, $7,200 per year, growing at 7% real return over 32 years, compounds to roughly $1.1 million. That is money that never came from her paycheck. Vanguard's 2025 data, covering nearly 5 million participants, shows the average employer contribution sits at 4.6% of salary. Whatever your employer offers, that number should be the first thing you fund every year. Engine 2 is the withdrawal math. Morningstar's research identifies Roth accounts as the most tax-advantaged retirement asset because they generate no taxable income, no required minimum distributions, and no interaction with Social Security taxation. James has put every dollar into one pre-tax bucket. When he retires, every dollar he spends triggers taxable income. When Social Security starts, his traditional withdrawals make more of it taxable. His effective tax rate on retirement income is higher than his marginal bracket suggests. Maya has 3 buckets. She can pull from the Roth and the HSA in high expense years with zero tax impact and reserve traditional withdrawals for years where the standard deduction can absorb them. That flexibility is the difference between managing retirement income and being managed by it. Now you might be thinking, what if my employer does not offer dollar-for-dollar matching? Most offer something. Even if 50 cents on the dollar match is free money. Whatever percentage your plan matches, that threshold is the floor for step 1. Capture it entirely before funding anything else. And you might be thinking, what if I cannot max all 5 steps on 15% of $120,000? You do not need to. The sequence is what matters more than the amounts. Fund the match first, then the Roth, then the HSA if you are on a qualifying high-deductible health plan, then the brokerage. Even partial contributions in the right order beat maximum contributions in the wrong account. One note on the HSA. Contributing requires enrollment in an IRS qualifying high-deductible health plan. If your employer does not offer one, skip step 3 and redirect that amount to your taxable brokerage. The sequence adjusts. The priority logic does not. Here is the protocol. Step 1. Log into your benefits portal today. Find your 401k enrollment. Confirm your contribution rate is at or above your employer match threshold. If your match is 6% and you are contributing 3%, you are leaving thousands of dollars on the table every year. Adjust it today, not next open enrollment. Step 2. Open a Roth IRA if you do not have one. Fidelity, Vanguard, and Schwab all take about 15 minutes to set up online. Set a monthly automatic contribution for as much as you can put toward the $7,000 annual limit. Do not wait until April. Step 3. Check whether your employer offers an HSA-eligible high-deductible health plan. If yes, open the HSA. Move the balance into a broad index fund inside the account and stop treating it like a spending account. Save every medical receipt you pay out of pocket. You can reimburse yourself years later, tax-free, while the invested balance continues to compound. Step 4. Move your emergency fund to a high-yield savings account. The national average at standard checking and savings account sits at 0.39%. Top accounts are paying around 4% right now. Same protection, same liquidity, 10 times more interest. It takes one afternoon. James is not a cautionary tale about carelessness. He saved 15% from day one. He made responsible choices. The system gave him one bucket, one box to check, and he checked it. According to Vanguard's data, only 18% of participants in plans that offer a Roth option actually use it. 82% default to traditional only, exactly the way James did. It is not a character flaw. It is a design flaw. The default is incomplete. Maya did not discover a secret. She spent 20 minutes reading the form more carefully. That is the whole story. 10 years from now, James will look at his balance and feel proud. It will be substantial. But when he models the after-tax income he can actually spend, he will notice that every dollar he pulls out generates taxable income, that his Social Security is partially taxable because of the withdrawals, and that he needs to keep working a few more years to reach the number that actually supports his life. Maya will look at her Roth account. At 52, see 30 years of compounded growth that owes nothing to anyone. Look at the HSA that will cover every medical bill tax-free, and put in her notice. The order you fill your accounts is the single highest leverage financial decision you will make this decade. It is not the most exciting, but it is the one that determines whether your money retires you, or whether you keep working to feed it. Tell me in the comments which step you are currently missing. Just drop a number, 1 through 5. I want to see how many people are leaving the match on the table and how many have a Roth they opened years ago and never actually funded. See you in the next one. This content is for education and entertainment only and should not be taken as personal financial advice. Investing carries risk. AI may assist with parts of production, but every video is still reviewed and edited by me, Sarah.